In celebration of its 35th anniversary, Nintendo decided to re-release Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Switch, which made me want to revisit the game and create a few videos focusing on its amazing aspects. It always felt very unique to me, as they were able to combine 2D and 3D aspects, which, when done right, can lead to some very interesting levels. However, sometimes the formula doesn't work, and instead you get a muddled gameplay experience that's more annoying than anything else. In this video, I'm going to focus on the balance between the two when we look at the best and worst levels in Super Mario 3D World. Of course, this video is 100% my own opinion, so there may be a few you disagree with, but I've tried my hardest to look thoroughly through each and every level, replaying the game fully to get a gauge on which I should include. Oh yeah, and before I get started, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. At number 10 in the worst category, we're gonna look at World 3-2, also known as Chain Link Charge. Why I very much dislike this level all has to do with its poor design, as it involves a forced scroll, meaning that the screen moves throughout the course, so the player has to carefully travel with it or risk dying. Now, forcing the screen to move like this can lead to some very interesting situations if done right, but in this case, trying to maneuver through the chain link fences are just a pain, with the added downside that you can't even climb them like in past entries. Coming in at number 10 on the best level list is Star World 2 or Super Galaxy, which, if you couldn't tell, is an obvious homage to Super Mario Galaxy. Although the level itself is rather tame, relying on rotating platforms as its main mechanic. If you complete it, you'll be able to unlock the fan-favorite character from the Galaxy series, Rosalina. This is a great Easter egg that pays tribute to the game that has had a heavy influence on the level design in 3D World. Just as a note, it was a bit tough to properly rank the first few entries on both sides of this list, but once we reached towards the end of the video, things got a bit easier and I was able to pick their appropriate spot. Switching back to the worst level side at number 9, we're going to look at Fuzzy Time Mine and its harder water-based version, as they use a combination of forced scrolls and the Fuzzy Horde, which on paper could work, but in this course comes across as tedious. These fuzzy enemies are highly volatile, as if you touch them at all, Mario will be instantly defeated, meaning that you'll have to worry about two separate problems. In the updated Floating Fuzzy Time Mine, moving sections of water are present now, which are actually tough to maneuver through, adding even another hard challenge. It's really not a bad level at all, but I feel like it could have been so much better. At number 9 on the good level side is a course that involves one of my favorite items in the game, found in World 3-1, known as Snowball Park. This winter-themed wonderland is full of fun enemies, including the hilarious ice skate Goombas that you can knock out and ride in yourself. This is a lot of fun to use, but you really can't stop at all, so you need to be careful, as falling off the edge is a lot easier than you think. It is unfortunately a pretty short level, which is why it doesn't get a better ranking in this video. In my personal opinion, the worst type of Mario levels in this game are underwater ones, as your movement through them feels even more limited than before, and this comes to a front in Castle World 6, Rammerhead Reef. To be honest, I find levels like this to be very boring, as all you have to do is swim underwater without any worry of running out of breath while dodging the Rammerhead sharks that can't be defeated by normal means. This feels a lot more like a level I've played in a Donkey Kong game, which were also the most frustrating levels from that franchise too. Although I wasn't planning on including boss levels in this video, there is one that has a very interesting, difficult, but fun design in the final of the regular ones, World Bowser's Castle, called the Great Tower of Bowser Land. Now, this level isn't technically a boss battle, as you don't fight Meowser, but instead you platform up the tower, trying to dodge his attacks while avoiding not falling to your death. I've already mentioned 2 levels where forced scrolling doesn't work at all, but for this one it adds to the difficulty, as otherwise there'd be no risk involved at all. Even when I originally played Super Mario 3D World back in 2013, I always felt like one level in particular felt extremely lazy in its design, which is World 5-3, Backstreet Bustle. Although this level does use the cherry power-up, letting you collect 3 stars if you keep your clones alive, I've never seen a shorter and less inspired level in this game, with the end flagpole literally in sight from the starting area. Yes, there is a limit of 100 seconds, but honestly I never felt like that got in my way. At number 7 on the best side is a level with an ingenious mechanic in Bowser World's Footlight Lane. This one's all about trying to navigate Mario across pathways that don't become visible unless something, including enemies, interact with them. This leads to some very intense moments where you have to carefully platform across seemingly invisible sections while dodging thwomps, spiked bars, and bullet bills, which is no easy feat. Levels like this with some form of risk are always more enjoyable to play, as long as they aren't held back by an annoying added mechanic. At number 6 is an alternate, harder version of a level called Fort Fire Bros, now called Faster Fort Fire Bros, as you have to finish the level in a blazing 30 seconds. Now, this may seem like a very difficult feat to pull off, but in actuality, it's easier than it seems as there are plenty of clocks to collect, increasing your time by 10 seconds for each one, meaning that you won't actually ever have trouble completing the level. The only difficulty to be had is in collecting the green stars and stamp, which will guaranteed take multiple attempts to find, where, if you haven't guessed, from the 4 scroll levels, isn't my favorite thing in the world. If Faster Fort Fire Bros is a speed type level I dislike, then Red Hot Run is the complete opposite, which can be found as the 3rd level in the castle world. The layout of this one is a dash panel involved obstacle course speedrun, where you need to complete the level within 100 seconds without falling off the sides into the lava below. This leads to some fun but chaotic moments, especially in the game's co-op mode, where things quickly turn into a race to see who can make it to the finish first. This is a hard level and it can be a bit frustrating, but at least it's not a forced scroll and you're given plenty of time to explore the level. However, it may cost you a few lives. At number 5 on the worst side, I want to talk about a course called Cosmic Cannon Cluster, that's found as the 9th level of Star World. In this strange level, you need to use the cannon box item in varying difficult ways to progress through the course. Probably the most tedious has to be when you need to travel on the switchboards, trying to hit the switch blocks so the direction you're traveling changes and you won't fall to your death. There is a somewhat interesting underwater section, but unfortunately it's cut pretty short, and other than the forced scroll, doesn't pose much risk. This probably wouldn't even show up on this side of the list if the cannons were a bit easier to aim, but unfortunately I died several times as I could never properly line up the shot. At number 5 is one of the most unique experiences in the entire game in Shadowplay Alley, and its Mushroom World counterpart, Trouble in Shadowplay Alley. What sets these amazing courses apart from every other ones are the 2D Shadow Mario sections, plus the use of the potted piranha plant item. The level starts with this item that lets you easily collect coins and power-ups while eating enemies to instantly defeat them. However, it's in the second part of Shadowplay Alley where the really cool silhouette mechanic comes into play, which is an unfortunately small section in this first level, but is greatly expanded on in Trouble in Shadowplay Alley in a profound way. A level I remember absolutely hating during my first playthrough is Mushroom World 7's Broken Blue Bully Belt. This sinking and reappearing platform-based level is made a bit easier with the help of a Super Leaf power-up, but is made exceedingly difficult by the fact that Mario instantly loses a life if he touches the lava at all. It's no lie that I died several dozen times, powered up or not, usually because of missing a jump due to an annoying enemy, but also because the platforms only rise out of the lava for a limited time. I don't love levels that more or less require you to have a power-up to properly complete, but to be honest, without one here, getting all the collectibles is near impossible. Just like Red Hot Run, the level coming in at number 4 on the best side also uses the dash panels as its main mechanic, but this time in a neat nod to a classic Mario franchise. This level is World 3-6 or Mount Mustache, which to any eagle-eyed fan is an obvious Easter egg to the Mario Circuit courses from the Super Mario Kart games. Just like Red Hot Run, co-op mode is where the fun is really to be had, as you can basically race against your friends to see who can reach the goal pole first. I hope that if there's ever a spiritual successor to this game, they include a much more fleshed out, racing themed level in the same vein as this one. A level that combines my least favorite aspects of the Mario franchise, in underwater sections, poison sections, and annoying piranha creepers, is World 4-2's Piranha Creeper Creek. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of levels where your flow is constantly stopped by an enemy who can't be avoided and must be retracted by using either a Fire Flower power-up or bonked off of to progress. On top of that, the addition of underwater sections seem lazily added, not really achieving any purpose or necessity. At least an updated level like Piranha Creeper Creek After Dark adds darkness, but the design itself is short and lacks depth, which is something I wish Nintendo spent just a little bit more time on for levels like this one. At number 3, we have one of the most unexpected Mario levels of all time in the Great Goal Pole. When you start the level, it literally seems like the end is right in front of you, but things take a strange twist when the goal pole gains wings and begins to fly away. Your objective here is to catch up to it, and how fast you get to it is really up to you. If you're really skilled, you'll be able to last the entire 100 seconds, getting the collectibles that are placed in tough areas. Levels like this with risk are fun when done correctly, and I feel like Nintendo revisited this concept a lot more in Super Mario Odyssey. In the number 2 spot on the worst side, we have one of the most underwhelming levels in the entire game in World Flower 9's Powering Sunshine Beach. This updated, harder level replaces the puzzle finding aspect of the first one, and instead your objective is to use the cannon box item to destroy the Goomba towers, killing the Fire Bro on top. You would think that the limited 100 seconds you have would make things harder, but there's more than enough clocks to collect to increase your time, so I can't see failing this one being easy. When I originally played this game for the Nintendo Wii U, I remember the levels that completely stood out to me were the Captain Toad ones that were included in Super Mario 3D World as a bit of an extra treat. At the time, I remember these courses feeling like a completely different game altogether, as when you use Captain Toad, you cannot jump, roll, or use any of the normal moves in the game, instead relying more on puzzle solving and the use of certain power-ups. You can tell that Nintendo wanted to use Captain Toad in his own game for some time, and I'm extremely happy they eventually released the underrated Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Wii U and eventually Nintendo Switch. Although there are levels in this game with way worse design features, there quite honestly isn't one more infuriating than Bowser World 7, Grumblump Inferno. Named after the enemy you need to platform on, this rainbow-colored block continuously rolls through the lava, making it very easy for you to fall off and lose a life. When you first try to complete this course, maneuvering on the Grumblump is a pain in the butt, as its momentum forces you to lose your balance and more often than not fall into the lava even with a power-up. Now, it wasn't until years later that I actually learned not to jump on the Grumblump at all, which really makes things significantly easier, but you still need to dodge the fire and hammer bros that can be annoying. I really struggled with whether or not to put Super Mario 3D World's hardest challenge as its best level in the entire game. But in the end, I decided that the accumulation of reaching Champions Road, then finally beating this spectacular level is what makes it so great. Found in the Crown World, which is only unlocked after you've found every green star, stamp, and achieved the golden flag from each level, Champions Road becomes unlocked, which is broken up into 6 distinct, difficult sections with the added twist of not containing any power-ups or checkpoints at all. A level this tough and frustrating easily could have made the worst list, but the satisfaction of completing this masterpiece can't be beat. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like. Comment below if there's anything you disagree with and if I left any levels out, and of course subscribe to my channel. I also do have an Instagram at Copycat Gamer, so please go give it a follow as I upload some stuff there that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!